Oh, smooth as baby's butt that time. That was good. All right, nerds. Wally here with Kyle. That way, one of the OG Fermented Nerds that I mentioned last time in chat. We have Paul Pickles, also an OG Fermented Nerd that doesn't drink or even drink coffee. And Mercy Beer is here. Wow, just the whole crew. Mercy Beer, another beer tuber. All right, so we're just going to get into it, and people can join, and I'm sure we're going to chat. Kyle and I have just been discussing Mandalorian and how awesome it is, but we won't spoil it.
No spoilers, but it was real good.
Oh boy. Knee guns, man. Knee guns. Today, day five of the Fermented Nerds and Friends, Fermented Friends Advent Calendar. Apex Predator, White Raven, India Pale Ale. Let's see. So it comes in 1 pint can, 6.5%. Apex Predator used to be, what do we say it was? Bench Creek.
Bench Creek, yeah.
Yeah, and then they made Apex Predator IPA. And then they decided to change their name to Apex Predator for some weird reason.
It's a better name than Bench Creek.
What's that?
It's a better name than Bench Creek, that's for sure.
Yeah, like Bench Creek is locational. So they are based in Yellowhead County, which is just outside Edmonton, Alberta. So another Edmonton beer. What's the other one we had from Edmonton? Bent Stick. That was yesterday's, actually. Ooh, juicy. So it looks piney and it looks hoppy, as weird as it sounds. And a giant head.
So after our discussion, I put mine in it.
Nice.
My Vancouver beer tours.
Oh, sweet. Which brewery tour did you go on there?
We did. My wife and I did one a couple of times. Speaking of which,
that was weird.
Thank you, Thing.
God.
You. Yes, we went on a beer tour. We saw. I actually, to tell you the truth, it was quite a number of years ago. So I know we did Steam Whistle, which you get every time.
Yeah.
Bomber Brewing was out there too. And I can't remember the other one. We just happened to be on vacation in Vancouver and ended up doing it as just
probably like Strange Fellows. People usually do that.
Yeah, I don't remember the other ones, but it's one of the things that we definitely discovered. A lot of our favorite breweries are from Vancouver, but they weren't on that tour.
Okay, yeah.
Really like a lot of the breweries that are out there. So
the first brewery tour I ever went on was Vancouver's. Me and Dave and Steve, if you remember Steve.
Yeah.
We went out for a concert and we did Strange Fellows, Steamworks, and two other ones. Brass Neck,
yeah, we did Brass Neck too.
And then we ended up going to Granville. So
Granville. My favorite one from out there is 33 Acres. They're really good. They make a lot of stuff. Yeah, and they keep it pretty local. They don't really distribute too far out. But everything there is just great. So that was one of my favorites.
What's the other one that we really like? It's in Richmond by the airport.
Fuggles and Warlock.
Fuggles and Warlock, yeah.
We like that
guy. Like a Korean businessman simply, like almost single-handedly kept that business alive.
Yeah, they're cool too. Yeah. So, if you're waiting for a plane, it's great. They're really near the airport. Yeah,
right there. So we got a few people in chat. Let's see here. We got Paul, Mercy, everybody saying good evening. Mercy he's doing his yesterday. He has a tequila aged. He also has an advent calendar. Tequila barrel aged smoked sour.
Ooh.
That is a lot of stuff, man.
That's a lot of things.
So it'll be more like what's a smoked tequila called? Starts with an M. Jesus, I can't remember anything this morning. Mezcal, yeah. So it'll be like weird mezcal sour. Sounds actually awful. The clicking hand that drinks beers. That's
my favorite guest.
Can we have that as a regular guest? That's
well, we do this more often, maybe. Just watch it and it gets thirsty.
Kelly on stream and Oliver watching, and then Amanda. Clicking hand. The clicking hand should be her name on here. Okay, let's see if I can close that. All right, so we got a few people on stream. Let's give this a World Cup.
Yeah, I haven't had a whole bunch of Apex Predator. I know they're around. They're perennial guests at our like the Southern Alberta Art Gallery does a beer fest where they used to in the before times. Kind of quarterly.
Yeah,
and they're usually there, and so I know I've tasted some of their stuff, but it doesn't really stick in my memory. So we'll see if this.
I oddly enough haven't been to one of those. I talked to them though, so when in the future, if the future ever happens, I talked to them about actually us being able to have a booth there, and they're all down for it. I've checked this in twice, actually. Interesting.
Okay. I haven't checked. It smells very sweet.
It does, yeah. It has like forest sweetness, like pine needle sweetness, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go on in.
And like lots of tropical, like kind of metal tropical smell.
It's a lot milder than it smells. Like it's got a lot of smell, but it's pretty.
It has a weird softness to it.
Yeah. Bread, like a bread softness.
Yeah, like bread or marshmallow. That's what instantly I thought about is marshmallow for some reason.
I'm thinking about like a bun. Yeah, like soft bread. I can see if I check this in.
Oh, we have Western Canadian Beer Reviewer on here. Sweet. We got a few guys actually. He also has this guy has a really awesome channel, Western Canadian Beer Review. Check it out. I think he's doing an advent calendar type of thing. So Fuggles and Warlock isn't D&D branded. They kind of have like a fantasy sci-fi theme going within their branding. But Fuggles is because that's just a type of hop. I'm not sure where the Warlock comes from, just because it's super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the story is a Korean businessman waiting for an airplane. His flight was late. Went into Fuggles and Warlock, loved it, and just brought a whole bunch over to South Korea. And
yeah, when we were in there taking a tour, they told us that was their second biggest market. First was of course Vancouver local, and they said second was South Korea. And they took us in the back, and that was where I learned about the plastic kegs they used to ship overseas because metal are too expensive to ship. I was like, oh, that's super cool. Yeah, and yeah, you're right. They single-handedly kept them in business when it was slow. Yeah. They really liked it.
And if you're just late to stream, we were trying Apex Predator White Raven today. This was selected by
Name on?
Nope. Who was it? Dylan at Piggyback. Dylan, yeah, he picked this one.
I didn't know he was in. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's actually pretty good. It's very West Coast.
Yeah.
A lot of weird tropical softness. Oh, Brent's here too. All right.
Apparently I gave it a 3.5 when I checked it in.
Okay.
Which might have been a bit generous. Yeah, I don't know. There's something like the softness is bugging me. I don't know why. Like it's good, but yeah, it just like obviously I'm going to have more.
So Amanda says, grasping hand says, clicking thing hand says, it's their D&D names they use for Fuggles and Warlock.
Oh, even I didn't know that.
Yeah, maybe. Good. Apex Predator. Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually. Oh, that's why they changed their name. So there is a Bench Brewing. And I think Bench Creek was too close to that. But I don't think Bench Brewing's in Alberta. He can let us know in chat. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We have 5 viewers, and everybody's chatting. So that's really cool. Awesome. And also Brent's here. Brent's part of the Advent Calendar.
Brent.
Brent might have drank this early, I think, though. I think he drank it last night when we were on Zoom doing some hobby painting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Son of a gun. Which was fun. I built Romans. He built Gauls.
Oh.
We're going to have Romans versus Gauls. Brent, drank last night. Thought it was pretty good, and he's not an IPA fan. He's definitely like a stout porter guy, brown ale. Yeah. Better than the day 2 beer, which was the Patient 7 Pale Ale.
Oh, yeah.
All the bad parts of this. Okay, so Western Canadian Reviewer says, Bench is out of Ontario. They sued because they're trying to get in the Alberta market. Because the Alberta beer market just gets it in the butt constantly from everywhere. So we have a really open market in Alberta.
The most open.
The most open. One of the most open markets in the world. I've had beer from Japan, Poland, of Lindemans. Like we can get anything we want in Alberta, but we can't get our beer anywhere else, even though we have a free trade amongst provinces. We're supposed to. but we can't get our beer into Saskatchewan or BC or Ontario or anywhere for some weird reason. And so Alberta tried to close the market, tried to have the same rules as everywhere else, and got sued and lost. So we're like, well, why can't we have the same taxation rules everywhere else? Precedents, I guess. There we go.
It's good if you're a beer drinker. Not so much if you're a beer producer.
Yeah, like definitely we know a few producers, and they've said in the past how they struggle. They just struggle to get anywhere. So you have a place like Calgary with 40, 50 breweries, and all they can do is do local. It's really tough.
Well, and that's something like I would say we've really noticed, because we've been sort of beer friends for a number of years now, and we really noticed the difference in the Alberta market. In the last, say, 5, that it is like we used to drink beers from. Remember, Ballast Point used to be the thing we just loved getting. California all the time. We were all into California beers. And then Alberta just kept getting better and kept getting better and kept getting better. And yeah, really good. I still have I've got my Stone Brewery shirt on from when we went down to California there, because we were just all over it, right? And now there's breweries I like from Calgary that are just way better. Well, you're holding up one of them. Yeah.
Establishment. First of all, this beer is outrageously amazing.
Yeah. I
love this beer. Establishment's like, I almost put Establishment up against anybody, Not that I've had Treehouse or
the Super
River, any of those very legendary, Alchemist or anything. I haven't had any of that stuff, and I probably never will.
For us plebs, that's about as good as it gets. Like I said, if Establishment's not my favorite, it's pretty close. It's definitely in the running. It's just nothing they make is bad.
We have Cabin. Actually, I got Cabin. The selection of beer I have, so I got this new Cabin Goes leitmotif that I'm going to have later.
The only difference I would say between the two is I have never had anything from Establishment that I don't like.
Yes.
But I have had stuff from Cabin that I don't like.
Yeah.
But for my money, Super Saturation is there's just nothing better. It's just crazy.
Super Saturation is top
crazy good beer.
Top 3 beers for me, probably.
Yeah.
I would say if I'm gonna ever buy beer, I have 3. If I can only have 3 beer, it'd probably be Long Shadows from Blind Man, and Blind Man's just world class brewery. Super Saturation, and then it's not an Alberta beer, it's from Phillips, but Glitter Bomb from Phillips. Oh, yeah. But Super Saturation is Cabin does amazing stuff, but then there's all these Annex and Zero Issue and so many good breweries. There's bad breweries, to be fair. There's breweries that are I wouldn't say they're bad, they're uninspired. Caravel, when they existed, they went away.
Yeah, I do like Ships, and so I like their logo, but it never drove me enough to go there.
Legend 7's a bit meh. Yeah. There's just so many breweries New Level and
I find Last Best to be that way too. Last Best, it's a nice restaurant, but the beer's just kind of okay. Yeah. And I think you're seeing that in Calgary now, because there's so many breweries up there. You're starting to cycle the ones that are just sort of okay are cycling out. What was the one that just closed recently? It was Red Bison. I think there's another one which was never had it. No, never really had any reason to go there. And you're seeing the result. I think I saw. I can't see the chat, of course, but Amanda was mentioning that Stone used to be everywhere. You used to be able to. It was crazy, and we loved it. And now we've largely moved away from American beers, and we only kind of really like to stick into the Alberta BC stuff now, because it's gotten so much better. That being said, Missoula is Outcast. Okay, where are they from? Western.
Outcast is in Calgary.
I haven't been there.
Here, I'm gonna post. Let's see if I can. No, I can't do that. Okay, so Western Canadian Reviewer, are you on available to stream right now? Do you want another guest there, Kyle?
Yeah, sure, bring him.
So if any of you are streaming and want to join, let me know. He has a really good channel, and he's out of Calgary, so it's funny because we're all the beer review channels that anybody knows are all in England or the States, and then there's us too.
Nice.
Well, Amanda says loves Missoula beer. Yes.
Yes, that's the one. I was gonna say that was the one caveat. Is that still my favorite beer town?
It's amazing. So again, Dave and I went to a concert because that's when we do all our brewery trips, and that it was pretty early. So I think we just done a Vancouver trip, came back a week later, we went to Missoula, and that was the first time I really had a sour, and we hated it. But they got like 6 breweries in this town. Plus, they also do
the Garden City Brew Fest. The beer fest there is amazing. Yeah, it's you just can't, like, 5 ounces for $1 and just all in. Hey,
there we go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take over your chat there.
No, good.
No way. It's all good, man. Come on in.
Good. Yeah, because you are from Calgary, so it's good to have you have somebody who really knows their stuff about Calgary, because we're just kind of like making stuff up a little bit, honestly.
I know. I like to go where I like,
Brent said, so Brent brings up Spectrum here in Lethbridge. Yeah. Spectrum here in Lethbridge has been great so far. I haven't tried everything, but I've had everything I've had of theirs I've tried. Their ESB for just a beer, just your bar beer, is so good. It won, I think they won their category at the Alberta Beer Awards too.
They did.
Cool. Their Surf Girl is great. Everything's good. Nothing's bad, and some stuff's great.
Yeah.
Plus they do sell, and they're great people too.
Thing and I are in there every Friday because we just it's close enough to our house. We like going there. It's our kind of like our local spot. It's that's great.
Yeah, we have a couple spots here, but they're the ones who've really embraced that local neighborhood brewery pub thing.
So Western, can you give us your Calgary number 1 then? I mean, I'm just looking up that Outcast. I'd never heard of them, so they're on my list now. The future. Yeah,
definitely check out Outcast. Establishment is up there as well. I just picked up a New England hazy pale ale from them, and it comes in at 8%, and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, their new one, right? That just came out.
Yeah, it was. It sold out really quickly. Yeah. No, there is a ton here.
There's so many. That's the thing. We're kind of talking about they just kind of get lost because you have Last Best and Patty's and New Level and Inner City that I mentioned. That they all just kind of get lost in the shuffle because you have Cabin and Establishment and Outcast.
OT 88.
Actually, I like OT quite a bit.
Yeah,
and OT. Favoritism because one of the owners is from, or brewers is from back home where I'm from Brooks.
Yep.
So.
Nice. Oh, you're a Brooks boy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I won't hold that. I won't hold that against you.
Yeah, don't please.
Knows everything you need to know about him, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, my wife's from Medicine Hat /
actually
out that way.
But there's there's 2 examples. Medicine Hat has 3 breweries: Medicine Hat, Hell's Basement, and Travois.
Travois, that's what it was. Yeah.
And they've all done a really good job of identifying themselves in that market and being different. So Travois doing more traditional style brewing, Medicine Hat doing market entry beer, I would say.
Yes.
Occasional seasonals, their new coffee dunkel's amazing. But their IPAs, I have a few from their rep actually gave me a few beers to try. So they're all just average beer. But they're good entry beer. They're not bad beer. They're just entry beer.
Yeah.
So the more refined palate is kind of find them more. And then Hell's Basement, who does weird shit all the time.
But
those
delicious too.
Milkshake beers and.
Oh yeah, the backyard series from them.
Yeah.
Is it them? Yeah, it's because I get the 2 mixed up between Hell's Basement and Medicine Hat because both of them have similar styles, but it's they're right across the street from each other the way these guys brew. So.
And then Brooks has, they had Newell Brewing, which is Canadian Beaver Brewing, which unfortunately, so I had some of those when I went back home and it was awful. It was all really bad. I don't know what happened. I think they just want to be mass market because it's Brooks. But then also you have Piston Broken Brooks, who does really good beers. Was it last year, Kyle, that we did the Smokestack IPA?
The Smokestack, that smoked porter they did? Yeah.
Smoked IPA, right?
Or smoked IPA, yeah, that was
fantastic.
Fantastic.
And then they do some really good stuff in house, and they have a good restaurant, and they're really fun guys. So
I haven't been out that way in a few years, but I wanted to go check out some of the breweries in Brooks. I've heard some really good things about that.
We're into before times we talked about doing like Medicine Hat and then Brooks and get hotels and stuff. So
yeah,
it'll be really fun. But Calgary, like, have you noticed? So liquor stores in Calgary, because you have a couple, you have Alberta Beer Exchange, which I've never been to, and Collective, which I've never been to, but I've heard they're
solid.
To the crop, like. But is it all Alberta beer, or do they go international too?
They go international. So I mean, recently, I live like 10 minutes away from Collective, so I go down there and I spend. And the great thing about both Alberta Beer Exchange and Collective is they sell singles. Oh, so you don't have to buy 4-packs.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, I go down there and they have, like, for example, the brewery. They have like a lineup of the brewery down from the States, and some of their beers are phenomenal. But you only buy one. Granted, it's like $15 a can.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they do support a lot of local things. For Collective, they have a tap every month where they do a donation drive with a local Calgary tap.
Oh, that's cool.
And so they do that, and then they proceeds go to the whatever charity they decide to go to.
Okay.
So
awesome. Which is always really good. Yeah, I've been meaning to go by because they're on McLeod Collective, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They're just in
a hurry or.
Yeah. And I mean, if you continue at McLeod for a bit, you have all the breweries around there too, like Establishment. You have Annex Ales, and you have New Level, which is one of my favorites. I mean, I just picked this one up from New Level, and it sounds like it's going to be an amazing beer.
I have one from New Level here somewhere too.
You know, it's
you
funny
had
that
the Black No. 1, didn't you?
Yes, Black No. 1. That beer was really good. Yeah. Plus, it's typo negative. So
yes, exactly.
You know, it's funny though that just goes to show you how the level of Calgary beers come up, because we spent all that time talking. It didn't even mention Annex, which was one of our original favorites. Right? Like it's just crazy. Like
neighborhood,
embarrassment of riches.
Oh yeah, and that's just the south. You go north and you have all these other guys too. I mean, like you have all the different ones.
Red Deer area, Troubled Monk, Blind Man, Snake Lake.
Yeah,
I know Red Deer has a couple others. That's of my mind, but just those three.
Unfortunately, Undercurrent just closed down.
But if you're not canning, you're not going to survive, unfortunately, especially in this day and age.
Yep.
Right.
Well, and then even Edmonton's got it's funny, Edmonton doesn't have as many, but they've got a couple of, like, I went to SYC when it really just kind of first opened, and SYC is really good. I really like them. My current White Whale brewery, I guess, like the one I really want to get to is Sea Change, because I've had a couple of some Sea Change, and they are fabulous, and I really want to go there.
A little story is one of my old high school friends, her brother actually runs Sea Change.
Nice.
So this guy's out of Victoria, so like it's seeing all the stuff from Sea Change. I'm like, oh, well, that's a little taste of home in a way.
Well, today we're right Apex Predator.
Yep.
And then yesterday day before yesterday was Ben Stick, which is from Edmonton. Yep. But I mean, that beer was not good at all.
Yeah, and Ben Stick, I find is like
Ben Stick's hit and miss.
Yeah, it's nothing really has like grabbed me and like thrilled me. Actually, I would have to say one of the larger sort of, it's got a good story is Polar Peak, I think it's called, or Polar Park up there. Yep. Got a good story, but when I went there, I was not really blown away. Like the food was good, but the beer was just kind of okay. And so they had this whole story about it was like the Bavarian royal family's brewer, and I was like, well, is that why he's here now? Because it was just kind of like
But that was kind of a tool shed for a while, as they were all story, right? And then okay beer. But now it seems, I don't know what's happened, but you go in and they have their in-house menu for beer is so broad and gigantic. And I think they've decided they're done making Star Cheek and all these beer, and they're like, okay, now we're gonna make really great beer. Oh, Amanda, yeah.
Oh, right. See, that's just crazy.
Remember when we were walking and we're like, oh, Dandy.
Yeah.
And we went in because we were going, I think we were to Inglewood to go to Revival.
Yeah, we were going to Revival.
Right along there, there's Dandy, there's I want to is it EST Brewing? No, it's damn it, I can't remember the name now.
Cold Garden's right there too.
Cold Garden, and right beside Cold Garden there's another brewery.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
We're fun little trip because they'll have food trucks in the parking lot, and then Cold Garden's fun because there's like dogs everywhere and stuff.
Oh yeah, Cold Garden's funny too because first of all, I love the whole dog thing. But
yeah.
I think last time we were there, we had because they usually have so many beers on tap. We had either 2 or 3 flights, and about half were fabulous, about half were just so bizarre. They had like a
birthday cake beer, and it was just like, yeah.
See, I didn't mind that one, but there was like a cream soda ale, and it was just not good.
Yeah, they always have like dogs, not good. But yeah, that's kind of the thing about. I think that's like their gimmick is they have good beer and bad beer. Like, and it's not necessarily bad. It's like we're just gonna try this weird beer. We made it. It's not good. We'll throw it into a cask.
It's like Kronk. Like the Kronk, they knew. Like that's the thing. People are like, "Oh, Kronk's not good." I'm like, "You're doing a recipe from over 120 years ago. Understand that it's going to be different." So,
I really wish I could have got my hands on it. And by the time it went online and it was we talked about it and how it was immediately gone.
Yeah, it's funny too. Dandy's new tasting room is fabulous. Like when we walked by there, went in there, like because I had only been in their old one and their new one was just so good.
And they have this weird like tapas menu, so it's like really fancy, floofy like foo-foo food.
Yeah, and oysters. Yeah, to me, which is funny that living in the prairies, but I lived in Vancouver for a number of years, so I'm a West Coast guy, and like beer and oysters to me is just a great combo. Like
you're talking to a West Coast guy here. I mean, this is Twin Sales right here. So
I really can't like. I think that's where we have it better over other provinces. Not only do we have world class breweries like Establishment Cabin and SYC and Blind Man especially, we have access to all these beers. Like, like come on, Hitachino, man. Like, this is Japan, right?
Yep.
Or I got this sour. This was actually a really good beer. Sourcon from Poland. Like, you can't get these beers anywhere else. You got Muskoka Brewing.
Yep.
Like, you know what? I still like good Mad Tom
local
too.
Shitty liquor
store. Oh yeah.
Like this is at Westminster Liquor, Kyle.
Yeah.
Which is like this. Cigar City's like one of the OGs in the industry, right? Yeah. Or I got Hobgoblin from Witchwood in England.
Oh, there's a lot out there. I mean, like as I was mentioning the brewery, if you've never had it, this is what they are. Like a big. That's the brewery. So that's out of where is it? Placenta, California.
Okay.
So I mean, this is their oatmeal cookie stout.
Weird.
And it's coming coming at 10.2%.
Wow.
So I mean,
you have one of those and then have a nap.
Yeah, pretty much.
So in Calgary, can you find any of the real white whale beers? Like, can you find Pliny or anything?
No, I've never been able to find Pliny the Elder or the Younger.
I think Reston River just sells local, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the way you can find those is knowing your breweries that actually can trade for those. So
yeah, there's a whole bunch. Like, I'd like any of the Alchemist stuff, or Russian River would be good, or but you just can't get them here.
No,
but I was joking with somebody. They're like, "Oh, you get 100 views." I'm like, "Yeah, but if I get Pliny, I'll get a 500 or 1,000 views just because it's Pliny."
You could. I mean, like I've had some like, for example, we the Left Hand Brewing their nitro stout that they had.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that review and it wasn't that bad, but I also did KBS and I didn't really get that many views.
Oh yeah,
so
KBS you can get up here, which is actually kind of weird that you can still find them.
Yeah,
I think Wine Cavern has a whole bunch of KBS if you like bourbon barrel aged stuff. Yeah. I think, but it also might be 20 years old. I don't know. Because that's Wine Cavern for you. So we have a liquor store here in town that's about to move.
Yeah.
And you go in there and they have a gigantic selection, but then bottle caps are dusty and you're like, oh no.
To give you an idea, it's still all bombers.
Oh.
Like that they and we were mentioning that the other day. It's like, man, it has been a long time since like small breweries really produced bombers. And so
right, yeah. Well, we were talking about Unibrew earlier. Isn't that what we were talking about? Was that me and you? Oh, that actually might have been me and Brent last night. We were talking about Unibrew Brewing when they first started. That was all like big giant bottles, right?
Yeah, bombers.
That was all cans. Yeah. It's weird to get a short can, actually.
It's almost like having flying monkeys, seeing flying monkeys in the big bombers, and now they're doing cans as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you can go online and buy their stuff, but I'm looking at, like, the Chocolate Manifesto is one of my favorite beers out of Flying Monkeys. And they put it in cans now. I'm like, oh, now I really want to go check that out.
Right.
Oh, no, I did Flying Monkeys Adventures in Surfing recently.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
The one that what's the Hop Bomb or Hop Smash or something like that? That was, remember back when we were chasing
Smash on Hops.
What's the hoppiest beer we can find, right?
Oh,
yeah, I remember when we were chasing that. We were chasing the IBUs for a little while there. That was Atomic Smash Bomb, I think is the name of it. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Smash Bomb Atomic IPA.
That's what it is. Yeah, when we were chasing it for a bit there, that was our game for a little while.
IBU. So
what's that?
It's only 72 IBU, but of course that doesn't mean anything. We had what else do we have? Juicy Ass from them. When it was interesting when we went out. So Dave and I went out to in Toronto for a concert. So I'm going to preface every tale with Dave as us going to a concert. So we went to, and I see you're in this Moment shirt. So we went to. Well, we've been out there twice. Once we went for Zombie, and another time we went for Slipknot. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, but we'd always go to Tall Boys on Bloor Street. So if you're ever in Toronto, and this is for all the viewers out there, if you can get to Bloor Street, look for a place called Tall Boys. It's awesome. And that's where I learned about like Great Lakes Brewery, fight. Octopus Likes to Fight. I learned about collective arts there.
Yep.
And it, like ransacked the universe, and I was just like, what? And everything I had from them was so good. Actually, like collective arts, still everything they bring out still good.
If you can find IPA number 15, it has made it to Alberta. Pick it up.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's the rehash of IPA number 5.
Okay.
And they've, if you've never had that one, I strongly suggest getting.
I don't know if I've had. Untapped, beautiful, actually.
Oh yeah, it can be if people like myself put things in. I haven't done that in a while.
I find that going to waves. Sometimes I'm checking in everything I taste, then sometimes I just sort of let it go for a little while and then pick it back up because I've been doing it since 2012. So like for a while there, I was like way into it. Then I go out and I come back in and I go in. Yeah.
So Amanda was asking, what Mother Earth brewing did we drink that was 10%?
Oh yes. So the story was, and this is a good parent of the year story. When we were down in Southern California with our son, and he was probably 6 or 7. We went down there for Legoland, and we went to Mother Earth Brewing because I had so I think Amanda still has the shirt. There was a California Cream of Cali Ale, nice. I had their peanut butter stout, and it was great. We're like, oh, it's not far. We were staying in Carlsbad, and we were like, yeah, it's not far. Let's go over there and check it out. So we went, and this was very, very early in our beer tourism days. We were just started getting into beer tourism and kind of figuring it out. We went to Mother Earth Brewing, and they had a whole bunch of lists. And so I was like, yeah, I'll have a pint of this. And Amanda saw one that was a stout, and it was Imperial Stout at a time that was before we kind of really knew what that meant. And she's just going to have a pint of that. And the lady behind the counter kind of made this face, was like, ooh, well, we don't normally, like, she kind of hum and hawed. And the brewer master standing there goes, she's from Canada, just give it to her. And so, of course, she has it. And then she's drinking it, and I'm drinking it. And then I was like, holy, what in the hell is going on here? You're sitting there, and you looked up, and I realized it was like 10.5% with our son like, eating a granola bar and playing with his iPad. And yeah, that was Mother Earth Brewing. She said, the guy, you remember that brewer goes, she's from Canada, just go ahead and give her a pint of it. And it was, they didn't normally serve it that big. So it was, yeah, it was funny. I can't remember the name of it though, but it was their Imperial. They had an Imperial stuff.
Oh wow!
I think the strongest beer I've drank is Tactical Nuclear Penguin.
Oh yeah, because you had
30%.
I held that in my hands and I saw the price point because I was at Sherbrooke in Edmonton there, and I was like $95 for a bottle. I'm like, I can't justify that.
We were on this history and beer tour in Lethbridge, and the mayor showed up. So.
That was well done, one.
We'll tell you his mayor off screen sometime. But anyways, so he was there. So the bartender, or the owner, or whatever, was like, "Okay, try a little bit of this." So he gave us just a little bit. It's awful. First of all,
Barley wine, yeah,
awful. It's just ethanol. That's all it is. It's just caffeine. It was terrible. But you're just like, oh. And then they tell us the method how it's made. Freeze it, take the water out, freeze it, take the water out, kind of like icebox style, you know?
Yep.
It probably is an icebox, honestly. It was horrible, though. Actually, I do find, and I think I was on, who was I watching? I was watching one of the beer tubers that I watch, and he was talking about how, like, really, really boozy beer just isn't that good.
Mm.
If I want booze, I'm just going to have a cocktail, man. Let's have some Kraken or something.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some out there that are really good. Like, for example, Nugneo. They have the high alcohol ones.
Yeah.
But they're supremely good. Like,
you have to brew that style, I think.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be used to brewing that style. Because, yeah, some stouts, or Russian Imperial stouts, which I'm pretty sure is just a gimmick. When it's like Russian Imperial Stout, you know, I'm pretty sure it's just a gimmick, and they're like 11%. They're okay, but it also takes like 2 hours to drink it.
I gotta be in the mood too. Like, it's
exactly.
gotta be like, it's weather dependent, right? If it's minus 30 and dark and snowing, yeah, I want something that like pours like tar, you know, like 12%.
On and just like cuddle up under a blanket and have this, and
then have a nap. Yeah,
read a book and then have
sleep.
I find actually the higher the alcohol percentage, like I want it. Like, so if I'm gonna have like a real heavy stout, it's nice to have it at like 1 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You've had lunch. You're gonna
have a
down, read a book,
sleep.
or surf the net or whatever. Have this play a game on your phone or whatever. Have a real alcoholic drink and then beer.
So as much as I was poo-pooing that White Raven, actually I finished it. So.
Yeah, that's
it must not have been that bad. You know, I was all kind of going, you know, man, but it was good.
It's a good, as we say, a good sessionable beer.
Yeah, I mean, it's still 6.5%. But
yeah, well, I mean, one of my
the more beer you drink, the more sessionable it is, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna spoil one thing on my my 24 days I've got coming up. Yeah. This is one that I'm going to be doing soon. Bourbon barrel aged triple stout. From Longwood? Yeah, Longwood Brewery out of Nanaimo, BC.
Nice. I've never heard of them, but
if you're off the island, you've got my attention.
Yeah. Coming in at 16% alcohol by volume.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Oh, I got a couple here.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing that now.
I like my beasts. I can't help it. I like my beasts.
So I got to down here. Channel I need to do still. It's
yeah.
So it's 11.6. This is the Kentucky bourbon barrel.
Yeah, those are good.
Gorgeous.
It's 2019. I've had the 2018, and then I actually got this from 88 Brewing. Have you had this one yet? Their Skeleton Crew.
I've heard one. It's sold out quickly here. It sold out so quickly here. I didn't get a chance to get it.
I'm really
that is one of the
how that'll be.
Yeah.
So I think those are like the two big boys I got left.
I've got a few in my cellar. Like I mentioned, Nugneo. I've got their Dark Horizon, the 5th edition, which is coming in at 17.5%. So, yeah,
that has more booze than like a Ryan Coke.
Mm-hmm. It does. I if you ever see my channel, you know I like my heavy, my high ABVs. So I mean, like I just finished another one off. That's 14.3% for day 6. So,
hey, Kyle, what's yours on?
Oh,
Eric Dick. So Eric Dick actually is responsible for drawing the Fermented Nerds logo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, cool local artist. He does a bunch of classes and stuff like that. My son has taken his comic drawing class a couple of times and really digs it. So
he's a real. So look up Slaughterhouse Slew on Slaughterhouse SLOUGH.
Okay.
He does a lot of like cool like history.
Really good stuff. Yeah.
It's really
all around cool dude.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. So, but we got him to draw his logo because we know he'd do a good job. And we have it on our shirts and everything, so it's fun.
Hey, if you can get someone to do your logo, that's all out right there.
Well, it's funny too when you mention our shirts because we one of the things is we have a pretty special relationship with Toolshed because we touched on it briefly because Toolshed is a block and a half from where we play our war games. Wally and I and the Fermented Nerds we're big Warhammer dudes, and so we go up and we play Warhammer in Calgary and. Yeah, last tournament was there. I had 3 beers instead of lunch at Toolshed, and it is like It's just great. Like it's just a great. We have a great special relationship with Tool Shed because of that. Because whenever we go to tournaments, we always end up walking over there for lunch.
Yeah. So we go to Ogre's Den. It's in what's the neighborhood? What's it?
I have no idea.
I want to say Marlborough area.
Yeah. It's by the Marlborough Mall. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So. But it's like literally a street over. So we play our games. We walk over there for lunch. Don't have any food. Walk back and lose every game after.
And then lose. Yeah. And then lose in the afternoon.
That's not walking back. That's stumbling back. Let's be honest about that.
That's the Lethbridge special. Yeah. Go up and go 2-0 in the morning and 0-4 in the afternoon.
But hey, that's what there's a reason we have the bowling shirts with our big drunken logo on the
back. Graham tells some amazing stories, and I mean, one time so a little story here. Graham, I was looking online on Facebook, and all of a sudden I see a bunch of Tool Shed beers being sold by an individual, not by Graham, not by the AGLC or anyone else. So I'm like, okay, Graham, we got an issue here. I think someone's selling your beers for a decent margin here. Like it's just amazing. He's like, yeah, I don't know what's happening here, but we also had some beers stolen out of the back of our stuff.
Yikes.
I'm like, oh, well, here you go. So he's like, yeah. He's like, thanks for letting me know. So I basically talked to him after. He goes, you know what? Come on by. I've talked to him before. He's like, just come on by. I'll treat you to something. I'm like, all right. I've never had Dogwood Brewing before, and he pulls out the 60 and 90 minutes IPA from Dogwood.
Oh man!
And I'm like,
that's another like whale for sure for us.
Yeah,
for me anyways.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, this is just amazing. He goes, no, this is my thank you to you. I'm like, thanks, Graham. Like,
wow.
And hearing his stories, oh my God. Like he is a storyteller, and like what he's done and what him and his old partner did, because Jeff's no longer with Tool Shed.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It sounds like he bought them out, and Jeff's now retired.
Okay.
Good for him, actually.
Yeah. Well, I've never been on their tours, but they're like they were like soldiers or in the military or like there's something or agency with there, right?
Yeah, they have military background. I think it was more IT work in military background, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But they were still high up there. And I mean, literally, they brewed out of a shed. Hence the name Tool Shed until they got their location in Calgary. So
isn't Starcheek from a Scar? One of them got somewhere or something.
Starcheek is from I can't remember who it is, but when they drink, they get the red face. Then they have a star that shows up. So funny. And it's almost like Red Rage. There's someone that came in and it was always angry about something, so they said, yeah, there's a Red Rage beer, or it's usually named after somebody and they have a story behind it, which is kind of cool. So
I've heard their brewery tour is like the best one in Calgary.
Well, we were there as part of Dave's tour, remember? That was at the end though, so that's probably why you don't.
They weren't. Yeah, there's no brewers there. We just kind of we showed up and we're like, well, we'd been to a few places already. So
yeah, it was last of the tour. Yeah,
it was last of the official tour, and then I got back to the hotel, and it was for a bachelor party for a buddy.
Yeah.
So our friend Dave and then the bachelor Colton, they were like, okay, Kyle and I, who are still in our senses, we're like, okay, you guys go have a nap. We'll see in a bit. Then we left and went to Zero Issue.
I just about walked out without paying.
Oh, I was out of my senses by the time I left Zero Issue. That's for sure.
That was
We had everything on their menu, playing arcade games. And we're like, hey, call a cab, call Uber, whatever. We just leave. We're like, oh, she comes running out the sidewalk. Yeah. Oh shit, we didn't pay. She got a very, very good tip.
Yeah.
Well, she was very nice about it. We're like, oh my god, we left a mess, I'm sure. And and then, did we end up going anywhere else? I think we went to the arcade place, didn't we, on the north side?
So Revival.
No, not a Revival.
Oh no, we went to
the big giant thing.
Rec Room.
Rec Room. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Then we had cocktails all night.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There were games, and Dave would walk by and just refill our cocktails.
That was good.
He would literally walk through the video game and just like put new ones there and then walk away. We're in this big giant racer or something. Or
we were playing Halo.
Yeah.
What's that? Halo. Yeah,
we were playing Halo. Yeah.
Oh god,
it was very good. It was very good. Dave's a very generous man. So.
Yeah, it's amazing what you could, like. You spend 3 days here and still not hit every single brewery here.
Oh,
so
not even every good one, right? Like not even every top tier one, because it's just it's so good there.
Do they have brewery tours in Calgary?
Do they have what?
Like they must have brewery tours, eh?
They do. Well, obviously with this year it's been a little bit slower. We even have the pedal tours.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Like, are we still allowed to call it whatever it was called there? Brewery Lane or whatever it was called?
Brewers Row.
Before.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you owe Molson a quarter every time you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't Born Colorado. It was the other guys that got bought out, right?
Bandit Peak.
Bandit Peak.
Yeah.
Got bought,
which is too bad because we like it a lot.
Yeah, I really like them, and yeah, the barley belt. Oh,
barley belt. Oh no, yeah, now you owe them a quarter. So do I. Yeah.
But then Labatt's buys them, and they're like, "Oh, we can't use this name." I think Labatt's rescinded on that though.
I think they have, but I think all the other breweries out there are like, no, we're not using this no matter what.
Yeah, but that's just the end of those guys then. Like that, I guess the thing is you have Labatt's power of getting their beer into every liquor store in Lethbridge has Bandit Peak every line. So it just shows the power.
That, and also, I mean, they got them into the Saddle Dome.
Yeah.
So I mean, come have your craft beer, which is fine. It's better than Budweiser or Coors or anything.
That's true. And I mean, the thing that kind of
$100, but
yeah, the thing that scares me, you look at Mill Street. Mill Street was here. We had Mill Street Calgary, and they just recently closed down.
Well, they should make better beer.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, it's funny that when you reach back into the sands of time, one of the first ever like sort of craft-ish beers that we really got us to branch out was lemon tea out of Mill Street.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was early with my wife and I that we tried lemon tea, and we were like, you know what, this is like, you know, when you make the jump from like Rickard's Red to like something, right? Because you know, everybody's gonna start somewhere, right? So you start with your normal stuff, and then you're like, oh, Rickard's is pretty good, and then you've got you know, Alexander Keith's, and you think you're special, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna try this lemon tea, and then kind of just that was the door opener for us.
But then you had Big Rock, of course. Big Rock was traditional and Grasshopper, like my two craft beers first
entry.
Yeah. Well, what got me really into craft?
Long.
Ooh.
I had to crack another one, so later. It's under 5.
I don't have anything in the same room that I am. But that's the trouble. I was like,
yeah. See, that's why I have a beer fridge. I have my beer fridge in my office here, so that works for me.
I have a lot of beer. Hey, Kyle, if you want a Tusker, I got one right here for you.
Yeah, Tusker. Yeah, thank. No, I'm all right. You know what? I'm not that thirsty.
We went to. It was a funny story. But speaking of Tusker, we went to a place in Toronto called like 100 beers or 1,000 beers of the world, and literally it's just every country's Budweiser.
Oh.
Thank you, thing.
Wow, by the magic of the internet.
By the magic of the internet, I am no longer thirsty. See, it goes both ways, right? Come in for a sample, come up with a. Actually, this is a good. Actually, you know what? Funny, while we're shouting out beers, actually, this is a good one to shout out. So this is Whistler's Trail Forks.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So when you buy this, a percentage of the proceeds goes to supporting local bike trails and hiking trails.
Nice.
So
nice.
Oliver, come on in.
So one of the things that I have from Whistler, and if you guys find it, I strongly suggest it for the Christmas season.
Yeah,
is this one?
Oh yes, I have had that one. No, I've had that one. It is delicious.
Yep. It's one of my mainstays every single year.
Their winter dunkel. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
yeah, I know it's
full of beers. I'll hang it up once I find somewhere to hang it up. Okay. I have to find a hook though first. So it's funny you bring up whistling. I was thinking, I was like, it's interesting because we have like these ace places. Whistler and Fernie and these places kind of get I won't say they get a bad rep, but they get because they're in high traffic areas, they kind of get mixed into this like, no, it's not craft beer.
Oh, so the thing with Fernie,
it's what it's.
Yeah,
Fernie's like a garage practically.
Well, the thing with Fernie is though. So I'm from Fernie originally. That was my hometown when I was born. I remember Fernie beer when it used to come in 2-liter plastic pop bottles and give me a headache. So they have come a long way. Like they've come a long way. And so everyone's like, "Oh, it's not craft." I'm like, "No, it is. Like they've come a long way in a relatively short amount of time." So yeah, it's
really quite good. Like again, it's like Medicine Hat Brewing that we mentioned earlier. It's a great entry point beer.
But well, if you're in a touristy town, right? You don't want to get crazy.
Yeah, I just want a lager. I'll try that. It'll be inoffensive for new drinkers, but then they still make like Fernie, for instance, makes Java the Hutt.
I was just going to say Java the Hutt. Java the Hutt is delicious. So,
it's great.
And actually, the guy who owns Fernie Brewery was in the same graduating high school classes. Murray Pass.
Nice.
Cool. So we knew each other from high school. Oh,
yeah, I took a tour of Whistler, and they're amazing. Like they allowed me to come in, do a tour with them, and it was just awesome. And they're brewing one of their series, and they allowed me to drink from the bright tank, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." And then I found out that I didn't know this, but Big Rock actually used to brew out of Whistler at one point in time. And then they just closed up shop, and Whistler opened up. So
Brent is saying his entry into craft beer is Sleeman's.
Yeah.
And then when he lived in Guelph, and then Creemore Springs.
Nice.
Yeah. So, well, like I said, everybody's got that sort of door opener beer, right? That gives you beyond gets you beyond the macro.
I don't know what my real, because sure, I had traditional stuff, and I remember like in 2000 having some Unibrew, but then it was just like there was still this whole period where either I just didn't go to the bar, or if you went, it was like for cheap draft, cheap like cocktail, 25-cent highballs back in those days. But then I'm trying to think what my like real first, my like real craft beer entry was.
Yeah, like beyond your step beyond the Rickards, the Sleeman.
Yeah. Oh, I know what mine was, because I saw this at my local co-op, and I had to have it, and it was really weird. And I started doing my videos because of this. Was the Mamma Mia's pizza beer.
Weird.
Oh, weird.
So they actually put pizza sauce, some spices in there, and brewed it as beer.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
And it was like it tasted better as a base to a sauce, to be honest.
Right.
But it was still really good. It's like, it's so good. You can drink it out of a wine glass. I'm like, I'll just try it out of a wine glass. I'm like, no, I'm gonna cook spaghetti, throw this in there, and it was really good with the spaghetti sauce. And then my next one afterwards was a Duvel.
Oh, so you're just like, it's funny. Once the door opens, it opens wide. It tends to, like, once you start to like really start to figure it out, and even because but it's funny. It's like that for everybody. You can't they equate it to like same as whiskeys, trying to get into whiskeys, right? That you don't want to jump to like something like a super, like a double IPA, right off of the hop. So from my father, for the longest time, called any craft beer I brought home dandelion water. Like, he just hated everything about it.
Yeah.
And now he's like a Mount Begbie fanatic, like out of
out of
Revelstoke, and that's his favorite. And he just, because he roamed around after we started going, okay, well, don't jump to like the stuff that, because at that time we were hop chasing, we were IBU chasing, and I'm like, don't drink that. Start slow, and then he just loves Mount Begbie.
Do you remember? So Kyle, were you with us when we went to? I think we went to Attack X in Kelowna. We stopped at Mount Begbie, but they were moving.
Closed at the time. They were moving at the time.
Yeah. So we couldn't get beer. I don't.
That's right. Well, and remember when we tried to go to Krenog and found out we couldn't?
Oh,
really? Yeah. You guys couldn't make it to Krenog?
You have to.
No, because you have to make an appointment.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And we found out why you have to make an appointment too. We were like, how about that? Because we had it at because we were drinking their potato. What was that?
The potato red ale.
The potato red. Yeah, we were drinking a whack load of that on that trip. We were like, we should go see him. And then we found out you have to make an appointment, and two why. So we were like,
where was that place? Was that the Lebanese
Sorrento?
Guy? Was that the Lebanese guy in Kelowna? His place that we always go to?
Yeah, frickin' Frack.
Frack. Yeah, we're like practically. I think there's pictures of us on their wall. We drank every dusty beer. So we go there. We're just drinking every dusty beer in there, like, because he has a really long craft beer menu, but it's like all international stuff. Weird.
Yeah.
Asahi and Tiger and like.
And so we were telling him like, because the owner had walked over after we'd had a couple of rounds, and we were like, hey, listen, we're into it. Whatever, blow the dust out of whatever you want out of the back and bring it on by. And so he was bringing us all kinds of weird stuff.
But then he brought us like a round of Burt Reynolds. He's like, you guys are drinking lots. Here you go. Brought us all shots. So the next year we go and we tell the waitress, like, do you want to hear? And we're like, oh, he's not here. And I was like, oh man, we just drank so much last year. We wanted to thank him for the Burt Reynolds. She's like, I'm going to get you around. Reynolds. But the second time was a disaster.
Still like to get out to Krenog though, because that's another one that we kind of missed because we didn't realize we had to make an appointment. But it's one of those ones that next time I'm through that area.
Oh yeah. So I've done a tour.
Stuff, right?
Sorry,
Krenog doesn't make beer. They make like Gruit style beers, right?
Krenog?
Yeah.
No, they make beer. It's all natural. So it's all.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's all so they recycle their water. They make their own hops. And I mean, it's from farm to basically glass. Yeah. They've got their own stuff.
Okay.
And it's a small little place.
Like a Gruit beer, like the old style where they'd like replace hops with other ingredients, you know?
Yeah,
so,
no,
like, the beer, for instance, doesn't have hops. It has like other stuff, right? So.
Yeah, no, they grow their own hops. I mean, if you look at, I think one of their salmon hops that they have, they actually made that. They actually found it and made it their own.
Cool.
One of my favorite all time beers from Krenog is the Backhand of God.
Oh yeah.
So,
my parents live in Kimberley right now, and so you can get the Backhand of God up on the Platzel. There's a place called Pedal and Tap up there, and you can get the Backhand of God up there, and it is delicious.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
You check your Backhand of God.
Oh yeah,
that's a good beer. Yeah,
I've never had it. So
the first time and only time I've ever had a party pig was thanks to.
Oh, it was the Backhand of God. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's fun.
Their Backhand of God stout. Yeah,
it's good. Yeah.
So I mean, I've held on to this. I mean, package date August 10th, 2015, to give you an idea of how long.
You guys were at Pedal and Tap when you had it, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, up in on the Platzel in Kimberley. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Like when I go back to Victoria, I go to one of my favorite bars out there, and they have Backhand of God on tap. And I mean, like if you go to Vernon, they're at Don Cherry's bar now. So
okay,
man, you're hitting all my favorite towns at BC too.
Oh yeah.
Whenever we're in Vernon, oh, so good. Yeah.
My aunt and uncle live in Vernon, so I visit them.
Nice.
So I got friends that live in Kelowna, and my wife and I got married in Penticton. So I mean,
my sister's in the Sawyers. So yeah,
okay, yeah. There's a lot of good places.
There's.
So no, it's.
Here's a Calgary question though. So we usually hit breweries, but is there like other than craft, and is there like a place that is good for like a restaurant that kind of serves, because there's like Bottle Screw Bills and then there's craft, but is there anywhere else really that you'd suggest?
There's Beer Revolution.
Of course.
I mean, if you really want, you could also do what would be a good one? I'm trying to think here. Brewster's, like they do their own stuff, but they still have really good food. It's been a while since I've actually been out anywhere that does craft beer.
Exactly this year, right?
Yeah.
I know, like Annex actually added a burger bar, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah, in Annex.
Yeah.
What's the one that does the infusion? Central City, or what's the name of that one? That's in Calgary. We were in there drinking one night, and then we only found out about their infusions like after. I think it's called Central City. We got to get back there because that's another one that we were like, oh yeah.
I'm not sure.
So it's probably around Hotel Arts, because that's where you and I both go with our wives and stuff. So, have you been to that weird house near Hotel Arts? The weird like little house that's actually a bar?
I have not.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't me just like imagining it.
into somebody's house, maybe like into their living room, like not 0% chance. Inner City, that's the name of the place.
Yes, Inner City. Okay,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, they do
have
cool
great
infusions.
branding.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they do infusions in there. So if you go in there, sometimes they've got like taps where they've got the infusions like right in the taps. They've got 3 of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, last time we were in there, it was like they had pickles in there, and they had another one where they had just a bunch of different fruits, and then they just pour it right through and infuse the beer. Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Cool to check out next time you're kind of.
Yeah, Parallel 49 has that in their bars too. So.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I've never been to Parallel 49 at all.
It's oh god, it's been a few years.
I've had a lot of their beer. Don't get me wrong. Never
there's a lot of great places. Like I said, there's a lot of great places in Calgary that I seriously haven't been to, and I want to. I'm starting to look at some of the distilleries in Calgary, for example.
Oh yeah,
like Two Rivers. They've got a great vodka. They've got a great gin, and then you go to Skunk Works that does moonshine. So it's.
I've had some stuff before, but any place that makes a good gin, I'm down for too.
Yeah, I'd go to Two Rivers. They've got they've got an amazing gin there. So
I'm just looking at the Calgary Prairie Dog Brewing.
Yep, Prairie Dog, great food there too.
Yeah, but like Citizen Brewing, I forgot they existed. It just kind of goes with our chat, like how I would say maybe oversaturated.
The way I look at it is. The way I look at it is if you live in a certain quadrant, you've got your breweries, your go-to breweries.
Yeah, you just go to your neighborhood. Yeah.
Well, we had an interesting chat with one of the breweries here, Theoretically Brewing, and she said if you kind of go like per capita, we could have 6 more breweries or something.
In Lethbridge, yeah,
because they essentially they become neighborhood pubs.
Yeah,
and I think that's why we don't know all these places. This giant list of like.
Yeah, there's 100.
I'd like us to get there in Lethbridge. It's just Lethbridge small business environment is a little different. They tend to sort of don't like anybody who's doing the same thing they are. They still think it's a small town, despite the fact that there's 100,000 people. Yeah. That they think it's still like 10,000, and they treat it the same way. So we could probably carry 5 to 6 breweries, and we have 2. So it's
88 OT. OT's really good. Wild Rose, Zero Issue, Good Mood.
Oh yeah, Good Mood Brewing in the Northeast. They're one of the ones that are kind of they're there. Yeah. Pretty much.
They're in the neighborhood. They're a neighborhood bar, right?
Yeah.
2 House Boiling Ore.
Yep.
I think we've been to 2 House. I think I went to 2. Or either I saw it or I went into it.
2 House is just right near Alberta X or Alberta Exchange.
Yeah. Okay. Heathen's Brewing, they're like gluten-free only, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Patty, Goat Locker, I forgot about them. Last Spike, Last Spike's in like a giant building too.
Yeah, they're brand new.
Okay, Revival, which we've been into a million times. Evil Corporation,
like a good retro arcade.
Yeah.
Evil Corporation. Okay, I don't know if Evil Corporation is still around.
Okay.
I think they've been silently bowing out because I haven't seen anything on their social media in a very long time. So
Trolley 5, Big Beaver, 2 Pillars, Bitter Sisters, who are like brand new, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Man, a lot of places sure opened at a hard time.
Oh yes. Oh, did they ever? Like seeing all these places.
If you're Goat Locker, which I've never been to. Bitter Sisters, Dandy.
Exhale Brewing is just starting up now.
They have a cool story though. I think like they were contract brewing through Field and Forge. I think for like a long time.
Exhale, actually, they're really brand new. They just started. They did their first beer in Toolshed.
Oh, was the Toolshed there? Was it?
It was the Impeachment.
What one did it have from Exhale? It was Impeachment.
Yeah, Impeachment.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny. Funny you said that Evil Corporation. I just quickly jumped on, and the last time they tweeted was May 28th.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
I mean, that looks like a trolley or something. Bruce Bar, Brewster's Foothills, Township 24 Sleeman, Happy Belly Kombucha, Marta Loop. Oh, that's in Edmonton, I think, right?
No, Marta Loop.
No.
Yeah, apparently the people in Marta Loop love that brewery too. Like,
yes, it's very popular. It is very popular.
But again, neighborhood pub, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because like Spectrum here, neighborhood, really, it's a neighborhood pub.
Yeah.
You don't see them anywhere. You don't even see them in liquor stores here, really.
Up in the industrial. Well, he does do cans now, but he mostly it sells cans in-house, right?
Is Spectrum the one that does different weird things?
No. So there's two. Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
Spectrum in Vancouver, and this is Spectrum Ale Works.
Okay.
So Spectrum in Vancouver is pretty controversial. So it's actually one of my most viewed videos. Is I did a couple of theirs because local liquor store that sponsors me.
You did the white the chocolate series.
Yeah. So apparently there's some weird macro brew. They're actually owned by a giant company that also has a distillery. Also has something. So what they do is they come out with a recipe, a basic recipe. So this is going to be our Christmas recipe, and then they just like chocolate, blood orange, mint. It's exactly recipe with flavors.
Yeah.
But like, how's that any different than? I get they're owned by a giant company, but how's that any different than? Well, it's like Spectrum Ale Works here in town. He has the exact same recipe for every IPA. He just adds different hops.
Yeah, he changes. Well, that's a single hop series. Well, actually, he's actually doing a brand new single hop pale ale series too. He just had a new one that I've never heard of called Trident. Just came out. Really good. Yeah.
We'll have to head down. Oh,
I know Samantha put in the chat earlier. They're doing a cask series every Sunday in December now. So they're going to open a new cask every Sunday in December. They took their sweet stout and they put different cask stuff in it. So that's where we'll be tomorrow. Yeah,
Sundays. Okay, so I will sit in the table beside you. We'll come and we'll sit in the other table.
Yeah, sit at the other table.
Because we're not allowed to sit together.
No, that's right. Not under the currents. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going down at noon. So if you're anybody who wants to go down.
Cool. I know we have something going. Oh, yeah, maybe right before the show I'll come down or something. Or I'll do the live video later. But I know we have to. Santa's calling us.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Look at that. Well, you got to just over an hour. Hey, how about that?
Yeah. Okay.
It was fun though. It was fun. It was cool to hang out.
Maybe we can do these on Saturdays where we have some random people join in.
Yeah, like a hangout Saturday. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah. I'm down. I don't do anything anyway, so
I'd be down to come to chat about beer. As you see, I like my beer.
Yeah, I mean, buddy.
Oh no, it's cool. Yeah.
So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh, Saturday.
Oh, next Saturday. Good.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
A replacement because the next Saturday says blueberry in it.
Oh yeah. You can't do it. Yeah.
I'm definitely allergic to blueberries. So.
That's right.
Yeah, so I have to get it replaced. So, interesting. Awesome. I'm glad you joined us.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well,
yeah, it was
thank
cool.
you for the invite. I mean,
yeah, nice meeting you virtually, but yeah,
as
close as we get in these days. Yeah.
So yeah, this is what we do. So today, let's just end this.
Yeah.
Today's December 5th, day 5 of the Fermented Friends Advent Calendar was White Raven by Apex Predator up in Yellowhead County near Edmonton, Alberta. 6.5%. I will give it on Untapped 3.25, 3.5 in there.
I gave it 3.5 before, and I think I was being generous. I mean, it was okay. I finished it obviously quickly, so I mean, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, it was just.
I also drank one of these. It was a wet hop series, so it was a fresh hopped beer. But I'm pretty sure all they did is like brush the hops over the beer.
Yeah, it was near the hop. It was near the hop bucket at one point.
It was near the hop. Yeah, they had fresh hops in the building at some point. It was okay.
They added the hops by osmosis.
Yeah.
Nice. It was fine. Did you guys? What was your second beer again, Kyle? After the
I was drinking the Whistler Trail Forks.
Okay. And Western Canadian Reviewer. Make sure you check them out on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
What did you drink while you were on stream?
I was actually not drinking anything. I had a establishment beforehand, and I'm trying to behave myself because I'm also under a fitness challenge as well. But
yeah, that makes sense.
I've also got another beer that I have to drink that's probably going to be a high % alcohol, so I've got to try and pace myself.
Do a fitness challenge and drink, big heavy beers at the same time. Yeah,
and then stumble around the block for a couple of times. And
no fitness challenge here. I'm waiting for a new knee and shoulder surgery. So
there you go.
No fitness.
Drink what you can when you can.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a pain suppressant, I will call it. Cool.
Passing the time.
Awesome. This was super fun.
Yeah,
if
super fun.
you're out there watching and you want to be in on channels, especially on Saturdays, because this seems to be a good time to get some people on, we can do longer videos. This is by far the longest video I've ever done. Longer than Hop Farm, which shut down after we did it.
Yeah. Right after.
Longer than Theoretic. This is like double the longest video I've ever done, which is super awesome. Thank you, Amanda, for watching the whole time.
Oh, thanks, man.
You did a great job.
Okay.
Definitely our favorite guest of all time is the Thing, the grasping hand. Awesome. So for Kyle and for Western Canadian Reviewer, well, what's your name? Or do you want
Dan? I'm Dan. Yep.
Yeah, Dan. For Kyle, for Wally, for Fermented Nerds, we are out.
Bye, everybody.